starting our first heat in the morning, and we're starting it off with a bang. Flick. E.Ewing coming up against K.Slater to start off the day. He avoided the elimination round, winning his opening round heat, and here he goes, opening up today. Kelly, let's go of the rail, travels through here, and the foam gets the goat. So now priority and attention shifts over to E.Ewing.
It's incredibly deep on that one. As I say,
Ewing threads through that one, and Ethan is going to take an early advantage in this morning's first heat, kicking out right in the channel, Ewing, and we'll be waiting for the first meaningful score. Here we go on the replay. We're starting with Ewing here.
Yeah, Ethan just grabs the rail there, one nice pump, and sort of glides through that one. Obviously, that one had a little bit of whitewash through the face. That one, Kelly had a great view of Ethan just gliding through that barrel. You've got to be putting Kelly, highly, because here we go. I'll get back to that. Ethan
again. This one deeper, driving through this barrel. Second section for Ewing, and that is building upon his performance here. Ewing kicking out there, and looks like he's visibly got some an impact suit on as well for extra safety and flotation.
So super deep on this one. He got a lot of travel time done, and it'll be really interesting to see just how deep he was from the water angle. I mean, it was, yeah, really beautiful way to back up this 5, 6, 7. You can see him grabbing the rail, and as he's grabbing that rail, he's also pumping down the line. So he was pretty deep too. It was a really technical barrel. There was a lot going on inside, as well as being pretty deep, and he got that travel time too. So I'd say this is definitely going to be better than his 5, 6, 7. And you know, once you grab that rail and having that technique to be able to pump in the barrel, it's not an easy thing to do. So he has got that on lock right now. You can really visibly see it right there. There was 1 and then 2 pumps. I think another third happened right there as well. So he's adjusting his line a couple of times there. Really, really well done.
On the rankings, still in competition. Number 3, John still in competition. We'll get back to the rankings because Kelly's on a bomb. Big roomy barrel, and he comes out, and so now we have an answer back by K.Slater. Just as you were mentioning, don't ever count Slater out, and this should even things out quite nicely for K.Slater.
You know, that score, I mean, for me, that was incredible. You know, I mean, in my mind, it was a 10, but I love that they gave him the 9-7, left a little room for improvement, and I feel like we're going to see some amazing action coming up soon, because that was some of the coolest stuff I've ever seen on the foam ball. So let's go.
Yeah, Strider, one of the judges did agree with you and did give Slater a 10 for that wave that we're watching right now, but the average comes out as a high 9, a 9.73. Incredible. And not surprising, though, given the career that we've seen. And there's just clear air in front of John Florence. Here we go. Slater looking just for a mid-range score and not going to find it there. By the way, we'll see John heat number 5 of this round. Second wave of the set with a bit of a draw, and Ethan's going to use priority. And that was the priority error that we were talking about, a lapse in decision making, and that decision was the wrong decision for Ewing. This is opening the door for K.Slater.
And you could see Kelly.
It's kind of like the art of war, Sun Tzu. Sometimes he just gets you mentally. He got Ewing to go on a bad one. Now he's on this one. He completes this ride, and he takes the lead, but he will not do that. So a break for Ewing here at the 3-minute mark.
Kelly just that little bit too deep there, and as well,
Ethan finds one, wave number 2 of the set, and Ewing could have closed out this heat with a completion, inches from that completion before he goes down. So the plot thickens here as more waves hit the reef here at the end of the road.
High barrel, and then straight behind Kelly was Ethan taking off on this one. Second wave of the set, a little bit more open. It looked like all the hard work was done here, but he just got absolutely belted on that foam ball, getting way too high.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Great job from the water catching that angle. Slater in position, needs a 4. And here he goes. Pulls up, pulls in, and he's gonna get the number. Wow. What a play right there at the end of the heat. E.Ewing can just sit in the channel.
And then eventually take this one. I mean, this all happened in a matter of minutes. I mean, this one was a higher barrel. It was more almondy.
Yeah, you saw the fist pump.
Yeah,
he knows.
He knows.
This is safe for K.Slater, I feel, Flick.
Yeah, this was a really technical barrel too. I mean, it was a difficult one to ride. You can actually see this morning there is a little bit of lump in the face of the wave, a little bit of bump, and he did really well to negotiate with that on this one. And a really good read. It's just super technical. You can see how almondy that barrel is compared to those ones that we, saw yesterday, even to when you compare it to his 973. I mean, and getting the job done. It's just very Slater fashion, isn't it?
Applause by Porto on the Red Bull jet ski. K.Slater, 9.73, 4.73. Incredible effort. Go ahead, Strider.
All right, well, Kelly said he was sweating in that heat on the way back out here. Kelly, talk about the magic, talk about what I thought was a 10-point ride, and talk about the beatings.
Oh yeah, the first wave beat me down pretty good, but I hadn't got the adrenaline going and my heart wasn't really pumping, so I was like, it was totally fine. Actually, the next one held me down a long time. I didn't hit the reef though. Somehow I didn't hit the reef at all, and on this couple wipeouts, and I got caught inside a few times. It was like just one of those heats where I had to work. I was sweating physically, not like stressing. I mean, I was stressing too, but that probably didn't help. No, but it's a weird position when you only need a 4, and then he knows he just needs to keep me off. Well, he probably can't keep me off a wave that's going to give me a 4, but then if I only go for like a 4 or 5, then he only needs like a 6. It's a funny game when it starts to scores. When you need a big score, you know exactly what you got to do. It's actually sort of, if it doesn't come, then the cards were dealt,
Were you kind of tripping when you saw him catch that wave in front of you, the wave after yours?
I thought he was coming out. I'm like, shit, it was like slow motion. I was just watching the lip line. I was like, oh, the line he's on, I think he's coming out. And I saw him fall out at me. And I thought he was going to hit my board underwater. But yeah, just luck went my way a little bit. Ian's had the better of me the last few times we've been together. First few times I got him, the last few times he got me. So kind of an even battle at that point. But yeah, I didn't want to let that slide with a 9.7 and a chance to surf Teahupo'o a few more times today with nobody out.
Congratulations. We'll let you get set. You the man.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, I'm the water boy right now, and this guy deserves it. What do you think about that Tahitian wake-up call? Getting smashed and then getting absolutely piped.
Yeah, good morning, Teahupo'o. Yeah, I mean, I took off, got completely smashed and obliterated. Actually, my wipeout was a little violent, but the next one was even worse. The next one, like whitewater, I thought it would be sort of like subsided by the time it got to me, and it just smashed me. And then I think like 3 different times in that heat, it got pretty dealt with. It's just a funny heat because I was trying to get that low score. I mean, I wasn't really trying to get a low score, but at some point I was hoping I could get my 4 or 5 or whatever to just get in the lead and then make him have to surf into it. But that being said, like if you get a 9.7, then you get a 4-point ride. It's like you might as well have got 2.7. Like you left a couple points out there on the table, so you always, if you get the best wave of the heat, you always want to match his best wave. So I was thinking 8.5 somewhere, but there was one wide one I missed. It was absolutely bonkers. Like everyone was screaming just at the spit of the wave, and I had paddled a little too deep trying to get a little inside or 2 waves before that, and I had a duck dive through the face of that one, so I was just a little bit out of position. Then I got caught inside at the end on just trying to manufacture a score, broke my leash trying to get on the ski. The ski driver did such a good job, man. They grabbed me and we just zoomed, like he cut off a couple angles to get out here in time over where the reef's pretty shallow, and he could just see, I could tell he could see where the wave was lifting over the reef and going through really shallow parts. And I literally got to the lineup with like 3 seconds to spare maybe in the end. I sat up, put my leash on, and Ramana's yelling at me to paddle. So, yeah, a little bit of luck went my way for sure. I do know there was quite a few insiders, but with how good my big one was, you didn't want insiders. So we both could have caught more waves on the inside and probably bettered our scores a little bit, the backups, but that's the way it goes.
That was a very impactful 4.73. I gotta know, do you still get those butterflies and nerves on a morning like today, first heat? You've said before you don't really love first heats of the day, but does that still come up in you when you're paddling out there or paddling over waves, wondering what's behind it?
This is a new Kelly. He loves morning heats now.
Quarter-finalist Kelly.
Yeah, quarter-finalist Kelly. Yeah, it feels good. I just feel like the more I advance an event, the more relaxed I get. I don't know if I had nerves this morning or just anxiety for like the energy. You know, sleeping last night was tough because we could hear the waves and all the forecasts were saying it was going to be bigger. So you get those butterflies and you just want to get going. You want to get in the water and get the first one under your belt. And you know, it's like that first bite of food when you're hungry. Just, okay, got something on the plate now. So it was an exciting start, but it is lully. So it'll be interesting to see how everyone chooses to start and to surf their heats today.
I'm not sure if the rest of the competition is watching this, and I know that you can learn from each and every heat you surf. You got Glenn Microhall out there, you got Raymana back here on the Outerknown boat.
What is Cote on the mic?
Yeah, I could definitely give you some tips out there for later. I'm going to keep those to myself, but what did you learn from that heat?
You definitely want to get a good start. You don't want to wipe out badly on your first wave and watch the guy get a wave behind you and start his score, and then get priority, and then get another good one because he had that priority. So there is a pace to heats, you know, and the metaphor I use sometimes is boxing. Like sometimes guys are super offensive, other guys are counter punchers, and some people just go for rounds, and some guys go for the knockout, and it depends on how you want to surf a heat and what the other guy's good at. If you can offset what he's good at and do that, a lot of times that kind of neutralizes his strengths. So there's the whole mindset that goes into each approach of the heat, but when the waves are good, a lot of that just goes out the window, and it's just every man for himself catching the best waves you can get.
Well, we like the sound of K.Slater, quarterfinalist, but K.Slater event champion could sound pretty cool. We'll see what happens.
Hey.
Good luck.